There are two things that I've searched for in vain for several years now. A granola cereal that isn't loaded with added sugars, and a way that I can never have to actually speak to another local musician again, alright? And I've finally found the latter, thanks to Roland in Sweetwater. They sent over the GR55. It is a MIDI guitar synthesizer. You may have seen these before. They've been around for a while, but like I'm really just getting hip to them now. And there's a million different things you can do with them, alright? So, first of all, I'm using this Emeryld guitar that has a MIDI output. It's got the Roland GK output built into it. If you don't have a MIDI guitar, which I did not have until I just got this one, you can get the pickup system that comes with it. It's actually only an extra $50, I believe, at Sweetwater. Affiliate links in the description. Like I said, they sponsored this video. To get the pickup system that you can mount on a guitar, and it just goes kind of like under the bridge. The reason you need a system is because every single string is going to essentially become a MIDI controller. So what does a MIDI controller mean? Basically, you can take any patch, any sound, and you trigger it with the guitar. So you're not even hearing a guitar right now, right? This is a model of a Telecaster, okay? I'm gonna go through a couple of these different things, do a couple sound examples, and then do a performance, which I love because I don't have to rely on anybody else. No dealing with musicians, having them show up at whatever time they feel like, to various degrees of responsibility. Everything I can do on my own, right? I am so stoked about this, right? So if you want to hear something that doesn't sound like a guitar, how about a flute patch? If you saw my Instagram, you should follow me on Instagram, by the way. I did a loop with the flute, which I'll do a performance of later. But there's just like a lot of really cool things that you can kind of do to turn your guitar into a synth, essentially, all right? Now, I could just go through a million different sound demos of this, and it would take hours and hours. There's so much you can do with it, but I want to talk about my favorite features about this pedal. Then, like I said, do a performance, and then maybe just kind of mess around and go through some of the patches at the end. All right? The coolest thing about this is they thought enough of it to add a looper to it. So if you hold down these two, number 3 in control, it goes into a loop mode. Now, it isn't really meant to be like a professional looper. It only has 20 seconds, but it's enough to kind of just do cool demos. So I'm just going to lay down like a fingerstyle telly thing, and then I'm going to just put kind of like a synth pad over it, and then add drums to it. And if you're like me, I was impressed with how good this sounds, right? So I can just click this on and off, and it's like... I've got that, right? I can switch to that dreamy sound. Right? Maybe I have that now. Then I can go to the next part, which is going to be the drums. I love how good that sounds. So I'm just going to hit the kick drum on the E string. So I got that. I can go into different patches. Let me actually spin the wheel to get something. Metal synth lead. An organ. So again, as you can kind of see, it sounds really, really good. I think it sounds pretty phenomenal, and especially just like that kick drum. And every single note would be like a different one, like. So it's kind of amazing, like all the different wild things you can do with it. Now I will say 80% of the sounds on here are kind of whack. But the 20% that you want to go for are so choice, and there are so many cool things that you can do with it. And like I said, you can kind of you can bank through doing combo holds, or you can kind of just cycle through whatever you have going on here, right? Like space alter. I think they really did an awesome job. I mean, you can just like make something so peaceful sound. It's like, come on. Different things you can do with it, right? I will say that you need to go into the settings and set the sensitivity, because what you don't want to happen is if you like play something on the E string, a lot of times it'll slightly vibrate like one of the other strings, then you'll hear a couple things at the same time. And specifically if you're in the drum kit thing, it makes it kind of impossible to like lay down like a groove. So you have to set the sensitivity way down. That's how I had to do it for this one. Again, every guitar is going to be a little bit different, especially if you install the GK thing on it. I know some guitars, like my buddy Andreas plays a Godin multi-ack guitar that also has these built in. And there's also a controller that you can kind of switch between stuff actually built into the guitar. I'll link all that stuff too if you guys are interested. But I just kind of want to lay down maybe just a quick track of like just me playing one of my songs and then using using that awesome flute solo too. So let's give it a shot. The hills in the mist seem to speak of a tale that is not yet complete, bonds that are soon to be born, an emerald stone, green as the thumb of the gardener is poor, as the cliff tops that give way to shore, jagged rocks that are centuries worn, hide emerald stone. Now the stone shines for no one, stashed away under the power and cover of sea, controlled by the moon. We'll find a way soon and to return again. Has come in a maelstrom first seen by the young, who took notice and soon turned to run. Ride the tales in the mist set to ride, from the coast to the lush countryside, to the godless corruption subside. yet still the stone shines for no one. Stashed away under the power and cover of sea, controlled by the moon. We'll find a way soon to return again. Alright, now we're just gonna screw around with a little bit of things, right? So let's find some kind of acoustic thing. Captain Nylon. Dude, I love it. It's fantastic. Yeah? Oh, a harp, a nylon, and a string. You can play like pianos and stuff on here too. You can actually make a patch where it's just like your guitar is in open E, and even though you're playing it in standard tuning, it'll take all the notes and make them into an open tuning. That stuff actually breaks my mind because I can still kind of hear the acoustic part of this guitar in standard, but it's going through. So I have to use headphones if I'm doing that because it'll legit just break my mind. Fairy jazz. Anyways, let me know what you guys want me to do with this because there is an infinite amount of possibilities. I'm super stoked to have this. I've wanted one of these for a long, long time. So thank you to Sweetwater and Roland for sending this over. And like I said, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.